Tonight, gas prices are up.
We pay more now and make less because of the gas prices. It's impacting us a lot.
And that's not the only hike. The impact of higher oil costs on many other sectors and the volatility as political comments cause oil prices to drop back again this afternoon. A healthy morning walk into school or a stroll through a hazard zone.
It's been coming for as long as I can remember, and there's just rampant drug use everywhere, needles everywhere.
Why kids at some schools in the core are suddenly being given a busing option.
And the dominance continues for the Carleton Ravens.
And can you believe it?
For us to just keep fighting, and to finally come out with the result, like, just resilient is the word that comes to mind.
An 18th national championship for the Carleton Ravens, the dynasty, not done yet. Good evening. We begin tonight with the latest on the war in Iran and how it is impacting the global energy market. The ripple effects being felt by everyone here in the capital and across the country. Crude oil hit its highest price in 4 years over the weekend, sending gas prices surging, and more pain at the pump could be on the way. It's been a turbulent 24 hours for the price of oil. The impact of that market drips down into every facet of life, from food to transportation. The price of crude spiked yesterday, more than $118 a barrel. It dropped significantly today, especially after new comments by the U.S. president that the operations in Iran were, quote, pretty much complete. As of 4 p.m., crude oil selling for roughly $87 a barrel since has bumped back up. CTV's Austin Lee joins us in studio with the latest. Austin.
Oh, Patricia, I just checked and the price of crude is now up to around $95 a barrel, so it continues to be quite volatile. Most of us feel the impact of the rising cost of oil when we're filling up our cars, but if driving all day, every day is your business, at times like these, you watch your profits fade away. Frustration from drivers at the pumps.
It's terrible because I think it went up about 20%.
Hits much harder when you make your living on the road. Demolash Charant has been a cab driver for 35 years. He says he's never seen price swings quite like this.
We are controlled by the city, and we cannot jack up our price. Even if the gas price goes to $2, we still charge the same amount. So this is unbearable.
The average price of gas in Ottawa surging by more than 20 cents a litre in the past week.
We pay more now and make less because of the gas prices. It's impacting us a lot. Usually, it will take about 14 to 15% of our fare goes to gas prices, you know, in a van like this. But now it goes to 20 to 22, 25% of our income goes directly to gas price.
From the streets to the sky, fuel costs will continue to put pressure on the pocketbooks of many.
People should be wary that if they are planning travel and going for summer trips like that, tickets should be bought now before any price increase takes place.
The cost is one concern, possible cancellations another.
If this were to continue and the cost of fuel goes up and availability of fuel, there's a shortage, that could, in fact, change some airlines' decisions on regular daily flights.
War in the Middle East and tensions around the Strait of Hormuz, a key shipping route for about 1/5 of the world's oil supply, driving the wild price swings. Economists say shoppers can also expect inflation at the grocery store, with transportation costs on the rise. The oil price increase over the last 10 days representing a 1% hike to Canada's headline inflation.
At the end of the day, what you make just goes to gas.
As for public transit in Ottawa, OC Transpo's 2026 budget is based on diesel prices of $1.10 a litre. Right now, the average price of diesel in Ottawa is more than $1.50 a litre. But the City of Ottawa says it has a long-standing practice of hedging diesel fuel, which helps to reduce market risk and provide budget stability. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. And oil prices are expected to continue rising the longer the war drags on. Iran is ramping up its strikes targeting Israel and the oil facilities of Gulf nations, which comes after the country announced a new supreme leader. Thousands gathered in the streets of Tehran today to show support for Ayatollah Mojtaba Khomeini. He is the son of the country's former supreme leader who was killed during an airstrike on the first day of the war. But as the U.S. and Israel continue their attacks on Iran, many are trying to get out. CTV's Adrian Gabriel has more on one Canadian family's journey to safety.
An ominous black flag blows in the wind on the Iranian side of the Kappa-Cow border crossing, a towering symbol marking a time of mourning for Iran's late supreme leader. On the ground on the Turkish side of the border crossing, war-weary travelers make their way down this long pedestrian passage as they walk towards freedom.
Super risky, you know?
This Canadian father flew all the way from Vancouver, desperate to reunite with his wife and 2 young daughters caught in the conflict after they went to visit a sick relative in Iran.
I just need to meet them here safe, that's it.
What will it mean to you to be able to hug your children again?
I don't need anything, I don't want anything in my whole life. I just want to hug them, that's it.
It's been like more than 3 hours that I'm staying here, waiting for my aunt. I'm feeling it and everything.
Mohammed Asadi flew from Germany to wait for his aunt, a Canadian from British Columbia, who spent the last 10 days trapped in Tehran as airstrikes rained down.
It makes us human beings to be with your family, to help your family when they are in need.
If you're willing to wait.
A team of Canadian consular officers are also on the ground, offering assistance to those making this precarious passage.
The communications are down, the internet is down, so it's very challenging for anyone inside Iran to communicate outside of the country.
This is what many are fleeing. New video today inside Tehran's Shahran oil depot, an apocalyptic scene following a wave of U.S. and Israeli airstrikes. And confirmation that for a second time, NATO has shot down an Iranian missile as it entered Turkish airspace. This as the foreign minister for Iran's supreme leader warns of a long, painful war.
What is important for us is the end of this game. And we are ready to continue that game.
Hey, thank you, Ilan.
As global powers posture,
We're gonna go home, Vancouver. It's our home.
On this day, a moment of humanity, a Canadian family reunited.
To see him standing there waiting for you, what did that moment mean to you?
Yeah, it's everything. I'm alive for this moment.
To have your daughter back in your arms and you're heading home to Canada.
Peace, home, 2 words.
High five.
Canadians helping Canadians.
When I met you here,
huge relief, huh?
Though some are left waiting into the night, Iranian border agents won't let Asadi's aunt cross with her Canadian passport.
Now she's a lady alone on that side of border in this cold weather.
While some are homeward bound, others wait, hoping a new day will reunite them with their loved ones.
Relief for many, heartache for others. The tension here at this border crossing is palpable. The U.S. has raised its travel security alert due to a heightened risk of terrorism and armed conflict right here at this location. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Van Province, Turkey.
And tonight, the conflict will be the focus in the House of Commons, where in about 20 minutes from now, MPs are set to debate Canada's shifting stance on the war. Opposition parties are demanding the government clarify its position on the war, but Prime Minister Mark Carney will not be attending tonight's debate.
The Prime Minister has taken 4 different positions on the war in the Middle East in 4 days. He was for the attack. Then he said he regretted his support for the attack. Then he said his support for the attack was illegal. Then he said he was open to contributing Canadian troops to the war.
Carney says he spoke with Donald Trump yesterday, including about the war, and says the two have agreed to stay in close contact. Stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the war in Iran. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News channel at any hour. Still ahead, too close for comfort, those crowded Line 1 platforms. When will the congestion ease as our Ottawa's Worst Commute series continues tonight? Here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Skycam. 15 degrees out there right now. A beautiful day to start the week, but an interesting time, Jackie, as we get our first look at the weather forecast, because we're also talking about freezing rain and flooding
Yes, and that's why we're trying to tell everyone enjoy today, because it's going to switch up as early as this evening, and then the rest of the week we're anticipating cloudy skies and much closer to freezing temperatures. So we are way above seasonal temperatures, 15 degrees as you mentioned, Patricia. We've got those southwesterly winds moving in, but overnight those temperatures are going to drop to about 5 degrees. Partly cloudy skies in the forecast, so we'll have at least one more evening and one more day of mainly dry conditions. 6 degrees is our anticipated daytime high, but in the evening we are likely going to see chance of showers moving in, and this will continue into Wednesday. Yes, we are anticipating a significant weather system to move through that will bring freezing rain, and it has prompted a freezing rain warning for parts of Quebec and a special weather statement for here in Ottawa. We'll have a closer look at these details for you and much more in just a bit, but again, anticipating a special weather statement, 10 to 20 millimeters of ice buildup. Patricia.
Well, their walk to school may only be a few blocks, but starting today, dozens of Ottawa students are now eligible to take a bus. The reason? Safety concerns in their neighborhoods. The Ottawa Student Transportation Authority has implemented community hazard designations at 5 schools in the downtown and lower town neighborhoods: Cambridge Street Community Public School, Devonshire Community Public School, St. Anthony School, Viscount Alexander Public School, and York Street Public School. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with more. Katie.
Well, Patricia, in Somerset Ward, for example, the councillor there says the closure of a supervised consumption site and the opening of private addiction clinics has led to chaos. It's something families have seen firsthand, but many say putting kids on a bus for safety doesn't just address the broader issues.
Mike Chatham says the daily walk to his son's school near Hintonburg can be unsettling and dangerous.
Rampant drug use everywhere, needles everywhere. We typically do an Earth Day thing where we clean up our block. And sadly, this year, we don't think the kids will be safe doing it because we don't know how many needles, how many pipes, how much drug paraphernalia is hidden underneath the snow and everything.
5-year-old Cooper is one of 60 elementary students now eligible to take a bus after the Ottawa Student Transportation Authority designated the zones around 5 schools as so-called community hazard areas over safety concerns.
Basically telling us formally that our neighborhood is unsafe, that we've been abandoned by local and by provincial government.
I mean, I don't think anyone's thrilled with the labeling of like we live in a danger zone or a hazard zone now, but it's accurate.
OSTA says the move is an evidence-based response to a documented increase in safety concerns from parents, school administrators, and the broader community regarding complex social and environmental conditions along specific walk routes. Councillor Ariel Troster calls it a Band-Aid solution.
People who are experiencing homelessness and mental health and addiction issues, they deserve proper care. They deserve supportive housing, but residents nearby also deserve security and to be able to walk their kids to school.
I'm going to keep walking with my kids and instructing them on sort of what a safer route is, generally by avoiding Somerset. But I definitely agree with the decision to offer the bus service to people.
Chatham, too, will continue the walk to school.
I don't see why next time Premier Ford or his ministers are in the neighborhood, I challenge them, walk the neighborhood. Get Mayor Sutcliffe, walk around, then look at each other and ask yourselves, is this acceptable?
OSTA says of the 60 eligible students, 40 are opting into the bus. Councillor Troster says there are plans to expand hotspot policing to different areas, something many residents have been calling for. Patricia.
CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, the union representing staff at Briere Health is warning pending cuts will affect patient care. The union says 55 staff, including 46 personal support workers and 9 nurses, could be laid off at a time when they say they are already overworked.
This cut in the quality and the accessibility of patient care at this hospital should not pass without protest.
I feel like hostages to Premier Ford and his budget, and that 55 QP members are the first casualties.
Briere Health says some of those 55 jobs are being transferred or redeployed to other areas. Some reductions will involve voluntary departures. 9 vacant positions will not be filled. Briere specializes in dialysis, palliative care, rehab, and transitional care. Well, the federal government is investing nearly $95 million into understanding where workers are needed across Canada. The funding will track labor shortages and skills gaps in key industries, including construction and manufacturing. CTV's Josh Morano joins us now with more. Josh.
Patricia, the funding will support projects collecting labor market information. That's data that helps governments and industries understand where workers are needed and what skills are in demand. And supporters say that information could help connect workers to jobs, including right here in Eastern Ontario. At Algonquin College, Chintan Prajapati is learning the skills he hopes will launch a career in plumbing.
This is a skill that is really good for you as long as want to serve the community and also making more money.
But even in industries facing labor shortages, it's not always clear where workers are needed.
There's a lot of opportunities, so it would be very helpful for me if I can find a job.
The federal government announcing it's investing up to $94.5 million over 5 years to help organizations track labor shortages and attract new employees.
In order to fuel economic growth, it's important that we have skilled workers and engaged employers, and that we adopt new and modern technologies across all of these industries.
14 organizations across the country will use the funding to collect and analyze workforce data in key sectors like construction, agriculture, and biotechnology.
We're expecting in the tens of thousands of deficit of workers in biotechnology industry by the year 2029. And this kind of information will allow us to know in which subsectors, which regions, and which specific skills are going to be most keenly in deficit.
In Ottawa, the demand for workers is rising in some sectors, particularly construction, as the government works on building more affordable homes.
We're out of time to build slowly.
Companies like Oakwood's proposed new build housing facility in Eastern Ontario are looking to hire and hoping the funding helps bring new talent into the industry.
We need good workers in our new build super factories to be able to supercharge the home building industry and get these jobs and these modules out to people who need them.
For students like Prajapati, the investment signals a future where skilled trades are not only in demand, but essential.
It's going to be very helpful for me and helpful for this country and the community as well.
The federal government says the data collected through these projects will help industries forecast job needs, guide training, support home construction, and adapt to tariffs. Each organization will receive a certain amount of the $94.5 million based on their needs in their applications. Patricia.
CTV's Josh Morano live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, as the controversial high-speed rail project gains momentum, the mayors of Kingston and South Frontenac Township are taking issue with the proposed route and the fact that Kingston is not a current stop. They also want the trains to run alongside Highway 401 instead of cutting through rural communities and farmland. Right now, Alto has two proposed routes between Toronto and Quebec City. One is more northern, the other more southern, but neither stops in Kingston. CTV's Kimberly Johnson has more on the calls for change.
It's the feeling of when someone's sick in your family or something like that. It's not a good feeling.
Gord Bolton fears the plan for high-speed rail will ruin his hunting and fishing business in South Frontenac.
It would end my business. It would be done. It would cut my property in half, and then with a train coming by every half hour, people come there to be in Mother Nature. They don't come there to listen to a train.
The mayors of Kingston and South Frontenac are calling for a high-speed rail route along Highway 401 with a stop in Kingston.
What this joint advocacy position will do is it will protect vital rural landscapes. It will align with existing transportation corridors, both for rail and for the 401. And it will also ensure that if high-speed rail is going to run through Eastern Ontario, that it actually serves Eastern Ontario with a stop in Kingston.
The proposed 1,000-kilometre line would run from Toronto to Quebec City, with stops in Ottawa, Laval, Peterborough, Trois-Rivières, and Montreal. Currently, there are two possible routes, one of which runs through South Frontenac. There's no station stop in Kingston and runs several kilometres north of the highway.
It makes no logical sense whatsoever. And I've said it before at our own council meeting, it'll be devastation for generations if it goes through South Frontenac.
In a statement to CTV News, Alto says the final alignment, including stations, is subject to the approval of the federal government, but notes it will try to follow existing corridors and that high-speed tracks need to be a straight line. Transport Canada says the public will be consulted before any decisions are made. Rural residents say moving along the 401 would alleviate fears of expropriation.
It's not that we don't understand why the government wants to do this. What we don't understand is why they would do it so callously to us.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News, Kingston.
CTV Ottawa has extended coverage of the proposed high-speed rail routes. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Two men are facing charges after a bank robbery in Clarence, Rockland last month. Police were called to a bank on Laurier Street just before 9:30 in the morning on February 27th. OPP say one of the suspects pulled out what appeared to be a black handgun. Two men were arrested a short time later, about 20 kilometers away in Plantagenet. A 57-year-old from Loyalist Township and a 59-year-old from Gatineau are both facing charges. Algonquin College will offer a scholarship in memory of a young Indigenous student who was stabbed to death last year. Joshua Hayuk was a graduate of Algonquin's culinary management program. He also worked at C'est Bon, Ottawa, which will offer the scholarship with the college for First Nations, Métis, or Inuit students. Hayuk was killed in October. No arrests have been made. Well, Ottawa's own Yvanie Blondin is back home after an outstanding Olympic Games in Milan, bringing 2 medals back to the capital. Tonight, Blondin returns to her old rink to meet with the next generation of Ottawa speed skaters. And that is where we find CTV's Leah Larocque at the Bob McQuarrie Arena in Orleans. Very excited about this, Leah.
It's very exciting, and Patricia, you can't see right now, but there's actually a crowd of fans and skaters who are ready to meet Yvanie, but we're taking you for a couple minutes ahead of them. Yvanie, congratulations on all of your success. Can you just describe those moments on the podium and what it is like to wear an Olympic medal around your neck?
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true. I mean, when I look back at my entire career and when I started skating here, that's all I ever dreamed of. I just wanted to represent my country as best as I could, and I always just dreamt of getting that Olympic medal, and to do it multiple times is just, yeah, it's a dream come true. It's an honor.
What are you thinking when you're back here in Ottawa and you're looking at little skaters who are on the same rink that you were at? What is going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, it's a full circle moment, and I remember being back here when I was 7, 8 years old and having Amanda Overland show up, who is an Olympian from Ontario, and just being in awe of her. And I was lucky to have mentors like that and people that I could look up to kind of fuel my dreams and my goals, and to be in this position now, it's an honor. Yeah.
During your Olympic, we met with some watch parties. We met with your parents, your old coach. Everybody was so excited and so supportive of you. What has the Ottawa community meant to you throughout your career?
Yeah, it's meant the world. I wouldn't be standing here without the community that's behind me, and it fed the dream. I mean, I grew up skating on the outdoor rink that my dad built with the neighbors on St. Louis in Orleans, not far from here, and all the parents that would come out and coach us during speed skating sessions growing up. It takes an entire community behind every single athlete and behind every single medal. Like, the amount of people that have been behind my career has been insane.
So what's your message to these little skaters that you're going to see shortly and skate with?
My message would be to always dream big and take every moment for what it is, whether it's a hard race or a hard practice, and to just enjoy it as much as I can.
Before you go, can we please see your medals? You brought them here. You keep them in your pocket.
Yeah, they're kind of hanging out there for a little bit.
So this one is from?
This is for the team pursuit. So the gold medal that we got for the women's team pursuit with Isabelle Weideman, who's also from here, and Valérie Maltais. Pretty cool to do that again. And this is
back-to-back gold medals.
Yeah, back-to-back gold medals, which is wild. And this is also back-to-back silver medal in the mass start. So.
Wow, and Patricia, I did get a chance to hold the medal. They're a bit heavy, but you know what? It is nothing compared to the hard work that you put in to get to where you are and all of your successes. Congratulations, Yvanie. Ottawa is so proud of you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Patricia.
Amazing. Just casually pulling out a gold and silver from the pockets. And Leah, make sure she leaves with both of them. Okay, I know you love those medals.
I'll make sure.
CTV's Leah Larocque live for us tonight in Orleans.
So there are times where there are too many people on the train and you have to wait for the next one, or as you can tell, like the train is cut in half, so we do have to wait, or it's too crowded to even get in.
Well, just ahead, as our Ottawa's Worst Commute series continues, we ride the LRT Line 1 to see how the shortage of trains is impacting service. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Spring-like conditions today, but beginning tomorrow evening, a special weather statement will be in effect until most of Wednesday into the late evening of Wednesday. So 10 to 20 centimeters of ice buildup is expected. We've got this strong weather system that is moving through that will bring about freezing rain. North of us will be some snow as well, and just south of us, especially in the GTA, rain. So we are anticipating heavy rainfall, heavy freezing rain as well. We'll have a closer look at this and more in just a bit. But first, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's 15 degrees out there right now, but again, take advantage of this weather because by tomorrow, it'll be quite a different story.
Today's snow report brought to you by Sankara Vorlage. Rediscover the new Vorlage.
And here are today's snow report conditions. It was spring skiing on the weekend, no new snow, but that will change into next weekend. All 4 lifts open at Vorlage, 15 runs as well. As we take a look elsewhere around the region at Camp Fortune, 5 lifts and 17 runs. 2 lifts at Edelweiss, 20 of 22 runs. At Mont Cascade, 4 of 6 lifts operating, 15 runs available. All 3 lifts at Calabogie Peaks and 19 runs.
Your winter starts at Vorlage. Perfect for families, beginners, and advanced skiers. With our trusted snow school and ideal learning terrain, come rediscover the new Vorlage.
Well, it is certainly a mild start to the work week in Ottawa. Temperatures have been rising all day. We're still sitting around 15 degrees tonight. And this mild weather is melting the ice on the Rideau River, causing some massive puddles, as well as people start to think maybe about the possibility of some flooding. And Jackie, this is certainly an interesting forecast that we have this week. There's kind of a little bit of everything in
Exactly. And I know it was a big tease today from Mother Nature where we got this 15 degrees, lots of sunshine, but it will be quite some time before we do see sun again. Taking a look now here, we've got clear skies, but temperatures right now across Eastern Ontario, about 15, 16 degrees. Yes, lots of sunshine, double-digit temperatures, but this has also prompted a flood watch in effect. The warmer temperatures and rain over the weekend, it's caused an increase in water levels and flows in parts of Eastern Ontario. A flood watch has been issued in the Rideau, South Nation, and Mississippi watersheds, and this is highlighted in orange. Yes, we are keeping a watch for this with the additional rainfall forecasted in the next few days. It could lead to further flooding. So taking a look now at this ice storm tracker that we are anticipating, it's going to come likely later Tuesday evening. So this is the pink here that we're paying attention to, the purple anticipating some snow and light flurries, the green is the rain, and that yellow, that could be some isolated thunderstorms as well. So most of Wednesday, we will see a lot of the pink move through, which means we will likely see between 10 to 20 millimeters of freezing rain for parts of Quebec. This could be much more between 20 to 30 millimeters of rain. It has prompted some watches and warnings. So a freezing rain warning in effect for parts of Maniwaki as well as the Outaouais region. Here in Ottawa, Smiths Falls, Cornwall, really for Eastern Ontario, it has prompted the special weather statement. So giving you a closer look at this, it will likely move through much of our Wednesday. So by Wednesday by 12 o'clock, we could see already between about 5 to 10 millimeters of that ice buildup, and it will turn into rainfall by the time Wednesday late evening into midnight rolls around. So keep a close eye on this. Plan your travel routes really cautiously and be aware of this because it could lead to some travel cancellations as well. Now tomorrow, dry conditions in the forecast, 7 a.m., mainly cloudy skies. It's going to already be around the freezing mark. We're only warming up to about 5, 6 degrees, and this will be in the early part of our day where temperatures are going to drop in the evening to about 2 degrees. And yes, the chance of showers will likely be for that early evening. Now tonight's lows across Eastern Ontario, about -2 degrees. So we're already seeing the temperatures starting to drop. The daytime highs will only get up to about 6 degrees here in Ottawa, but slightly warmer around Cornwall and Brockville, around 9 degrees. Now taking a look at our 7-day forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. You can see that we are saying goodbye to those double-digit temperatures, Patricia. 6 degrees the daytime high for Tuesday. We will likely average about 1 degree -1 for really most of this week. And after that freezing rain or rainstorm that we are having for Wednesday, take a look at Friday. Early forecast showing between 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. So we are not quite done with winter just yet.
Rain, freezing rain, snow, pick your poison there. We've got it all for you this week. All right, Jackie, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, as we continue our Ottawa's Worst Commute series tonight, we're looking at the LRT Line 1. Many of the city's transit issues stem from the ongoing problems with the axles, and there's still no timeline for when that will all be fixed. CTV's Leah LaRocque has a look at how single-car trains mean overcrowding during some commutes.
A crowd spills out of a single-car train and onto the platform at Tunney's Pasture.
The stations, it gets pretty crowded. Most of the time you have to try to wiggle your way into the front area to try and possibly go through the doors.
Since the end of January, Line 1 has been mostly single-car service. After most of the trains were pulled out of service after OC Transpo found a problem with the axle bearing.
So there are times where there are too many people on the train and you have to wait for the next one, or as you can tell, like the train is cut in half, so we do have to wait, or it's too crowded to even get in.
This is the bearing. They help the wheels turn, but the city found tiny pieces flaking off inside. That's called spalling.
I mean, still not ideal because with a single train, but I think it was okay, I guess.
But with less trains and the same amount of passengers, it's leading to overcrowding and frustration, especially at Tunney's Pasture, which is the last stop on the western end. Ottawa Station, especially around class time, Bayview, where riders connect to Line 2, and Blair, the furthest east station.
The train, I let a full packed train go by, and the platform was still full, but the next one had space in it, so I got on the second one.
OC Transpo is working with a team of engineers from around the world and an independent safety expert, but no one knows what the root cause of the issue is just yet.
We shifted our focus to the full return of the full fleet. What are the necessary mitigations and measures and processes that need to be put in place to allow for the return of the full fleet? We need that for our service. We need that for the East Extension, and that's been our shift in focus.
I think especially for the O train right now, it's been really rough with that, I know. Single car service and a lot of the trains are getting held. That's very frustrating. I've been stuck on a packed train like that.
OC Transpo is still operating the Confederation line with under the 26 cars that is required to support peak rush hour periods, and single car service continues. It's also taking a lot longer to fix those axles. They can only do about one a day, which means rides shoulder to shoulder with your fellow passenger is likely to continue for a while. Leah LaRocque, CTV News.
And we are still collecting your stories of Ottawa's worst commute. Many of you have described journeys home and into work that take an hour and a half, 2 hours or more. We have a list of those stories on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca.
It's always nice having the convenience to differentiate between black and blue, but at the end of the day, it's no big deal, I guess.
Just ahead, what residents need to know about more changes coming to recycling pickup across the city. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. There's been some confusion about recycling collection in Ottawa since the service was taken over by a private operator in January. At first, residents were told they'd have to pick up a replacement bin if one broke, but that will no longer be the case.
So that's, once again, another change. However, I believe this is a positive change this time because it basically brings us back to the procedure when recycling was a municipal service.
Miller Waste, the company now handling recycling, says residents with a broken or damaged blue bin can contact them to arrange a curbside exchange. There will be no additional cost for the replacement or delivery. Miller Waste also says they will phase out black bins and eventually blue bins will be used for plastic, glass, and cardboard recycling.
I live on the 9th Fairway, and I'm disgusted by all of the construction that's going on, the water patterns of drainage being changed.
Dozens of residents came out to protest the planned redevelopment of the Canada Golf and Country Club yesterday. The developer plans to build 1,500 homes on the property after the city lost a years-long legal battle last year. But residents are still raising concerns about the presence of mercury on the property, flooding risks, and losing green space.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
The Gatineau Hot Air Balloon Festival has announced an all-star performer. The California-based rock band Smash Mouth will take the stage at the popular summer festival on September 3rd. The band rose to fame in the 90s with hits like All Star and their remake of I'm a Believer. The festival will announce more of its lineup later this month.
Speed and playmaking ability. Greco one-timing the loose puck, side of the net, score!
The Ottawa Charge were on the road in New York last night. Early in the third, Gabby Hughes scored her third goal of the season, made this one close for a bit. It would not last long. New York would go on to score 3 unanswered goals, including an empty netter en route to a 6-2 victory. The Charge play next on Wednesday when they host the Montreal Victoire.
To handle it, 2-on-1 for Ottawa. Brady Tkachuk shoots and scores.
And the Ottawa Senators are back on the ice tonight in Vancouver after Saturday's 7-4 win against the Seattle Kraken. The Sens have now won 3 of their last 4. Another late game tonight as this Western road trip continues. Puck drop is 9 p.m. They will return to the Canadian Tire Centre on Wednesday.
Back to John for overtime. Won't go. And the dominance continues for the Carleton Ravens.
Just ahead, Carleton's men's basketball team accomplishes an amazing feat. But where is the celebration on campus? That story just ahead. Well, at a certain point, you just take the winning for granted. The Carleton Ravens men's basketball team is returning to the capital as champions. They won an incredible record 18th U Sports title yesterday, undefeated when they get to the final. But it's tough to find fanfare and excitement on campus. Here's CTV's Dave Charbonneau.
Won't go. And the dominance continues for the Carleton Ravens.
When the buzzer sounded in Calgary Sunday night, the Carleton Ravens had done it again.
Championship number 18.
Beating the Bishop University Gators 78-75 to claim their 18th national championship. The team now back in Ottawa after the hard-fought victory, with the Ravens overcoming injuries and a back-and-forth final.
Just happy about how we were able to step up under adversity. Sometimes when you don't have all your guys, you can make an excuse why you're not going to win. But yeah, I thought the guys did a great job, and I'm just proud of their effort yesterday.
And for us to just keep fighting, and to finally come out with the result, just resilient is the word that comes to mind.
But back on campus, some students are still catching up.
Do you know when the national championship game is?
No idea.
Do you know who won the national championship game?
No idea.
Your school won.
Oh my God, no, I didn't know that. I learned that.
Why does nobody know?
I don't know. I've heard nothing about it.
I'm not up to date on a lot of sports anyways.
Most people that I know don't even follow the NBA, don't follow anything like that, right?
Your school won.
Oh, yay!
At a school with a trophy case that's now as full as the Boston Celtics, some students say another title is almost old news.
I don't know if people are getting complacent because we won 18 times now, so it's just like any other day for some people, but I don't know, it's amazing.
I saw the highlights, saw the Instagram posts, so yeah, it's pretty good, yeah.
For those who cover youth sports, the lack of excitement is no surprise.
It's a little frustrating, it's disappointing. I think, that's the million-dollar question that everyone asks with youth sports is how do they get alumni involved to the same degree that they do at U.S. colleges? How do they get the student body involved to the same degree?
But for some students, there was a perfectly good reason to miss the game.
Can I use school as an excuse?
Still, the team excited about another championship.
To go for the first time and just experience it and then come out with a win, it was amazing. I can't even describe it, honestly.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
The money didn't go where it's supposed to go. That's a lot of money.
Well, just ahead, a warning to be careful doing business with unlicensed mortgage brokers. We share the story of an Ontario woman who handed over $85,000 for a down payment, but says the money went missing. An agency which protects consumers in Ontario is warning about companies that are accepting mortgage funds, even though they're not licensed to do so. CTV's Pat Foran shares the story of a woman whose down payment went missing after working with an unlicensed mortgage broker.
You had one job to do that you got paid to do. And you didn't fulfill that.
Randy Solomon of Scarborough says 2 years ago her father was having health issues and she had fallen behind on her mortgage payments. She decided to deposit $85,000 on her mortgage and found someone who said they could complete the transaction.
The money didn't go where it's supposed to go. That's a lot of money.
Solomon says she gave the funds to Diane Van Rossum. She thought Van Rossum was a mortgage broker, but when she contacted the Financial Services Regulatory Authority of Ontario, FSRA, she was told Van Rossum was not licensed. The $85,000 bank draft was cashed, but is now missing.
When I found out it didn't go to the right place, I was angry. I felt betrayed. And I felt like she didn't do the job that she was paid to do.
FSRA just issued a statement warning consumers not to do business with Diane Van Rossum, saying she's not licensed to conduct mortgage brokering in Ontario, and she has accepted funds but didn't deposit them to process a mortgage. FSRA says anyone seeking mortgage advice or services needs to make sure they're dealing with a licensed professional.
I would encourage consumers to ask a lot of questions of the mortgage broker that they're working with. Mortgages are not easy products.
You can also check FSRA's website to make sure a mortgage broker is licensed to operate in the province.
They can do that by putting in their name or their license number or their brokerage name. I would also check our enforcement database to make sure that the brokerage doesn't have any actions recently taken by FSRA against them.
Solomon says the $85,000 was to help her keep her home. Without it, she's worried she could lose it.
The situation is still the same. My home is still up for foreclosure.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Day after tomorrow, Ottawa. I'll be downtown by the NAC in the afternoon, so give us some recommendations.
Coming up, one of our favorite Canadian musicians is coming to the capital looking for the best coffee shop in Ottawa. Where are residents telling Alan Doyle to go? That is coming up. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. Well, the warm-up here in Ottawa, not just here in Ontario, but really for most of the country. About 8 degrees in Fredericton right now, 6 in Halifax, Sudbury around 8 degrees. Windsor saw a daytime high of 20 degrees today, and our friends out west still hovering around the freezing mark, where Edmonton's at 0, Calgary -2 with a little bit of some flurries. Vancouver, a little bit of that snow and rain, and 5 degrees. But for here in Ottawa, for the next 3 days, you're going to see temperatures start to drop. So 6 degrees for our Tuesday. We've got Wednesday with the freezing rain at 1 degree, and then we're getting down to about -1 for Thursday. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. It's 15 degrees out there right now. Gorgeous sunset along Parliament Hill. Take advantage of this warm weather that we're having. We'll have another look at your 7-day forecast after the break.
Far side pass, and it's an early shot. He scored!
Tomorrow on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, the International Film Festival of Ottawa is back this week. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, St. Denis Medical, the fall and rise of Reggie Dinkins. Reggie, right? Tracker, and The Rookie. Peggy's doing okay. It's all right. Final check on the forecast. We'd probably just love to put today on repeat each day this week, but that's not what's happening.
No, it was quite a tease. I heard some people already were out in shorts today. You probably don't want to put your winter jacket away, because tomorrow, take a look at that wake-up weather. 0 is what we're starting with. The cloudy skies, we've got those northerly winds moving in, so we are only getting to a daytime high of about 6 degrees. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, take a look. We're going to hover around the freezing mark, so back to seasonal conditions. 10 to 20 millimeters of freezing rain or rain is anticipated for Wednesday. It could start as early as Wednesday morning. And if you think we're not done yet with winter, look at Friday. 5 to 10 centimeters of snow anticipated. Again, this is early, Patricia and Stefan, so hopefully this will change for a little bit of sunshine.
Yeah, but we're going to get some of that. I don't think we can escape all of that. That's quite a forecast. All right, Stefan. Enquise is here on the desk for the 11:30. What are we working on for tonight, Steph?
Well, Patricia, flying directly into downtown Toronto used to be a bit of a business luxury, but as it becomes more used and more accessible, the Premier's pushing for it to expand. Tonight, we'll share the latest in that debate and where the money would come from to make the Billy Bishop Airport bigger. Right now, it's governed by the city, the federal government, and the Port Authority, but the province wants in and says their polling research suggests many of you want to see that expansion too. So we'll have more on that tonight as we keep an eye on the debate in the House of Commons when it comes to the war in Iran and how the Sens are doing on the ice in Vancouver. Join us at 11:30.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Steph. And finally for us tonight, Canadian musician Alan Doyle's coming back to the capital. He's here tomorrow to play at the NAC, and he is looking for some recommendations.
Day off tomorrow, Ottawa. I'll be downtown by the NAC in the afternoon, so give us some recommendations about where to walk for a coffee in the nation's capital.
Love that. Okay, so Alan Doyle, of course, he walks right to his shows in St. John's, where he's from, loves to get a coffee, asking fans in each city he goes to share their favorite local cafes, walking paths. So, of course, playing the NAC tomorrow, a lot of people on social media are suggesting, yes?
Yes, that was going to be my
victories.
suggestion.
There you go, on Elgin Street, which, as Jackie knows well, was just named one of the 100 best specialty coffee shops in the world. That's the stuff that Jackie didn't bring back that we had to look at the day you were...
It was empty. I don't want you to look at me. You guys are looking this way accusingly. I'm going to look away.
So, Alan Doyle, if you have a chance to bring us a cookie, that'd be great.
I mean, we always ask. Sometimes she delivers.